the weaker section of the society. Some people are always, if we take gender discrimination or division on the basis of gender, women are exploited, men are stronger, they feel superior and they exploit. Okay, if we take caste, a particular caste is considered as low caste and those people are exploited. Do you know which caste people are exploited in the history period of history? In India, if we take India, which caste people are exploited? Okay. Which castes people in India are exploited? Shri Harsha. In India,
Shudras.
Shudras were exploited. Okay, now they are called scheduled caste people and scheduled tribe people. What did Gandhiji call these people? Scheduled caste and scheduled tribes people. What did Gandhiji call them? Anybody remembers? Aniket?
They don't know.
You don't know. Okay, Anvit? Do you know? Kavya?
Harijana.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Okay. So Gandhiji called them Harijanas, people belonging to the scheduled caste. They were called Harijanas by Gandhiji. Okay. So if we take race children, which race people were exploited? Not consider only India. You consider whole world. People belonging to which race were exploited? Anybody knows? Yes, Pannaga.
Black people.
Yeah, exactly. Black people. Okay. Negroes of Africa were exploited very badly, no? Okay, Pannaga, thank you. Okay. So these people were sold in the market. They were exploited as slaves. Okay. So this inequality is necessary, but we should see that these people who are not so strong, they should not be exploited. Their existence is very necessary, but without them society cannot run. Okay, so that is why we should see that there should not be what exploitation in the society. That should be stopped. Superior people should think what they should act matured and they should not exploit these people. If it happens, then only we can see healthy society. Okay, but now what social stratification is there, and these people who are not so strong, they are very badly exploited. Even today, weaker section of the society is exploited. No. So now in the next part of the lesson, we have to understand how this discrimination or inequality is formed in the society. Okay. So how social inequality is formed in the society, it is our next question. And it is a question at the end of the lesson also. And you can even expect this question in the examination. Okay. Let us go for the second screen, children. So how social inequality is formed in the society. Okay. So please go through all the points once. How social inequality is formed? What are the reasons for social inequality? Okay. Visible, children? Once go through all the points. So, first point is, did you all read all the points? Okay. So let us come for the first point, children. So the first reason is already existing unequal what? Opportunities in the society. already existing unequal opportunities in the society. Means all the people do not get all the opportunities, maybe natural resources, income. Few people are rich, few people are poor. That system is already existing in the society since the history. Okay, since the ancient times, this inequality is there. Always the superior section of the society have exploited the lower section of the society. That is why this whatever system is existing already, that is the main reason. Okay, so already existing unequal opportunities to the people, that is first thing. Then whatever is existing, few people try to overcome this problem, few people try to make away this problem from the society, but now, okay, now also that problem is continued. Exploitation is not yet ended. Okay, it is getting continued. That is the second reason. Okay, continued what that access to natural resources and access to income, access to education, so that is not provided to all the people till today. So that problem is continued. So that is the second thing, children. Then third thing is social service sectors. We need education, we need better health opportunities for the children and for the people of the society. So that sector is neglected. Okay. So social service sectors like education and health facilities that are neglected. Government has provided, okay, but not properly maintained. So that is the third thing, that is the third reason for social stratification or inequality in the society. Then after that, fourth one is concentration of wealth in few hands. Okay. So wealth is concentrated in very few hands. Many people means 10%, 20% people of the society are wealthy. Others have remained poor. Okay. So these wealthier people, rich people, what do? They contribute more for the inequality or inequality in the society. Okay. Then afterwards, number of billionaires and millionaires has been increasing. So if we take GDP of India, it is increasing. Every day it is increasing. Year after year it is increasing. But that gap between rich people and poor people, that is also increasing. Okay. So the wealth of the nation is getting concentrated in few hands. So that is the main problem. And with that, children, caste discrimination, gender discrimination, and other discriminations are till today existing. Okay. So these are the reasons for inequality in the society. Because of all these reasons, inequality in the society is getting continued. Okay. So uh, first we started with what, children? The first reason is already existing social inequality. Already existing problems in the society, opportunities are not available to everybody, and that problem is getting or it is being continued. That is the second one. Then afterwards, few sectors of the society, means public sector service, it should be provided properly, but it is being neglected. Government is providing funds, but it is not properly maintained, it is not properly utilized. So social service sectors should not be neglected, but it is being neglected. That is the main problem. Okay. Then next one is concentration of wealth in few hands. Then increasing number of billionaires and millionaires. So this question is very important for your examination. So have these points noted in your notebook. This is lesson and question also. Okay. Then comes the next part of our lesson. What is what? There is already, I have told that one of the reasons for social inequality is your public sector, service sector are neglected. No. Now let us come to education, children. So education is being neglected by the government and the authorities. Officers have neglected the development of education. So that is why people remained backward. A literacy rate remained backward. And taking into consideration all these things, our constitution took some steps to eradicate the educational inequality prevailing in the society. So what are those steps to eradicate educational inequality existing in the society? Do you know any step taken by our constitution? Raise your hands. Only Shri Harsha? Okay, Shri Harsha.
Reservation for SC/ST peoples in education.
Yes, reservation for SC/ST people in education. Okay, very good. Then what is the other very important step? I expect every one of you to know this.
Scholarships.
Rashmi, Shri Harsha, thank you, Marie.
Compulsory and free primary education.
Sorry, Marie, wait. Now repeat your answer.
Compulsory and free primary education.
Very good. Okay. Compulsory and free primary education to the children. Okay. So, of which age groups children should compulsory and free education? Who should get it? Which age groups children should get that? Nutan. Which age groups children should get free and compulsory education?
6 to 14.
6 to 14 years. Very good. Okay. The children of 6 to 14 years should get free and compulsory education. Very good. Okay. Then, under which article it is mentioned? Under which article of our constitution it is mentioned? Sahana. Sahana?
Article 45.
Article 45, not correct. Article 45 it is mentioned, but which article of our constitution gives it as a fundamental right? Now you have got a clue. Pannaga.
Article 21A.
Very good. Okay. Anvit, what is your answer?
Article 21A.
Okay. Anvit, what is your answer?
Mataji, Article 21A.
Okay. Thank you, Pannaga and Anvit. Okay. See. Keep your mic off, children. Pannaga? Okay. So, the answer told by Anvit and Pannaga is correct. Under Article 21A, we have this as the fundamental right. Means the children from 6 to 14 years, they should get the free and compulsory education. That is the fundamental right. Nobody can violate it. Okay. If anybody tries to violate, then the Supreme Court itself comes to help those children who are not getting education. Okay. So, Constitution has taken many steps. We can mainly see them under two chapters of our Constitution. One is under fundamental rights, that already you have told. Then Sahana was telling about Article 45. Okay. So Article 45 comes under the fourth chapter of our Constitution, that is Directive Principles of State Policy. So children, do you know the difference between fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy? Raise your hands. What is the difference between fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy? Shri Harsha?
Mataji, fundamental rights are compulsory, but directive principle cannot be compulsory or cannot be implemented forcefully.
Yeah, cannot be implemented forcefully. Okay. So, fundamental rights are compulsory, means nobody can violate, nobody can go against those fundamental rights. If anybody goes, we can file a writ petition in Supreme Court. Okay. But directive principles of state policy, they are just guidelines. Okay. They are not mandatory. They are just guidelines for the governments. They are guidelines for the states to take decisions for the welfare of the people. That is the difference between fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy. So under these two chapters, Constitution has taken many steps. Now, first let us discuss about the first chapter, that is fundamental rights. Which fundamental rights help in eradication of this inequality existing in the field of education? Okay. So, in this chapter, we are going to concentrate on Article 21A, children. Then we will concentrate on Article 21, then Article 29 and Article 30 and Article 19. 5 articles we are discussing. Let me repeat. First, we will start with 21A. Okay. Then we will come to 21, children. Then we will go for Article 29, then 30, and last one is Article 19. So here, very much accurate, means two articles, they are very much relating here. Article 21A is the most important, then Article 30. Okay. So I will share the screen for you. Third screen. Okay. So Article 21A, it was added by 86th Amendment to our Constitution. So before this 86th Amendment, Article 21A was not there, and education was not the fundamental right. Okay, education to the children of 6 to 14 years, it was not the fundamental right in our original Constitution. So this article was added by which amendment? 86th Amendment. You should know this. 86th Amendment added Article 21A, and it says that compulsory, it provides for what? Free and compulsory education from the children of 6 to 14 years. Then I think this everybody knows, that is why I will not repeat this one. Let us go for Article 21. Okay. So Article 21 talks about right to live. Okay. So you have learned about right to liberty. Now, first important fundamental right is right to equality. Next comes right to liberty, children, right to freedom. So under this right to liberty, you have one concept called right to live. So there was a case in Supreme Court, okay, and in this case it was questioned whether education is a fundamental right or not, okay, whether education comes under right to live or not. So that was questioned in the court. So the case is very important here. Unni Krishnan versus State of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, what is the name of the case, children? Unni Krishnan versus State of Andhra Pradesh. So a person called Unni Krishnan, he filed a case against State of Andhra Pradesh in Supreme Court. Okay, and in this landmark decision, okay, Supreme Court told that education comes under right to live. Okay, so under Article 21, right to live is fundamental, right? So right to live includes what, children? Right to education. What is the name of the case here? It is Unni Krishnan versus State of Andhra Pradesh. Then comes your Article 30. I will go for Article 30 because it is more relevant here. Okay. Can you find Article 30? So Article 30, it helps the minority people. Here minority, I don't mean only Muslims or Christians. So if we take Karnataka, children, people speaking Kannada, they are majority. People speaking Tamil, people speaking Telugu, people speaking Marathi, okay, they are minority people. So Article 30 protects the rights of, okay, so Article 30, children, it provides for the establishment of minority educational institutions. Can you see Article 30 there? See, it helps or it provides for the establishment of educational institution of minority section. Means if the people who speak Marathi, they want Marathi to be studied by their children. They have got that option in our state also. Okay. So that is how Article 30 protects the rights of, educational rights of whom? Minority people also. It provides or it helps in the establishment of educational institutions belonging to minority section. Means in Marathi medium, they can read. Understood? Any doubts here, children? Is it clear? If it is not clear, if anybody has not understood, raise your hand. So meeting will end now, children, within 5 minutes maybe. We will send you the we will send you another link. Again, you have to join it. Okay. Okay. So when the meeting is ended, you have to enter through another link sent by us. Okay. So Article 30, I hope you all have understood. It provides for the establishment of educational institutions belonging to minority section. Then let us come to Article 29. Okay. Article 29 speaks about, or it provides for the protection of cultural rights of minority section. So culture, every religion, every caste, every language, every section of the society, it will have its own culture and tradition. It should be protected. No, India is known for unity in diversity. So India is popular for its diversity. That diversity should be protected. That is why there is a separate article in our constitution. That is Article 29. It protects the cultural rights of the people belonging to minority section. Okay. So that can be here, it is related to education because in the educational institution itself, culture of a particular section of a society should be taught to the children. So that is why Article 29, under Article 29, some rights are given to the educational institutions to protect the cultural rights of that particular minority section. So this is Article 29. Then let us come to Article 19. You know about Article 19, no? Article 19 starts with right to liberty, that is right to speak and express your opinion. So that is Article 19. So these 5 articles, children, they protect or they help in eradicating what? Constitutional, they help in eradicating education. These are constitutional rights. These are fundamental rights. I have told you about 5 articles, 21A, then we have spoken about 21, Article 21. Article 21 speaks about right to live, and in the case of Unni Krishnan versus State of Andhra Pradesh, what was decided? It was decided that right to live includes what? Right to education. That is Article 21. Then let us come to Article 30. It is about what, children? Establishment of educational institutions of minority section. Then 29 we will come to. Article 29, it protects the cultural rights of minority people. Last one is Article 19. Article 19, it gives what? Right to speak and expression. You have the right to speak and you have the right to express your opinions. So, shall we go for the next one? Any doubts here, children? Okay. Now I will send the link for the next meeting. Join it.